There's something strange about how he left. No closure, no clarity, just silence. Like a door was shut but never locked. And yet, you still feel him, not in the obvious ways, but in the quiet, when your mind drifts, when a song hits just right, when you laugh and suddenly wish he were there. You wonder, is he feeling this too? Maybe he's moved on, maybe he's with someone else, but then, why do you still sense a pull, like a thread that never really snapped? Carl Jung once said, "What you resist not only persists, it grows in size." So what if your silence, your absence, isn't pushing him away, but pulling him back? In this video, we're not chasing false hope. We're revealing the real psychological shift that makes a man, yes, even one who's with someone else, start to miss you so deeply. He begins to question everything. And here's the part that no one tells you. It's not about what you say to him. It's about what you do with yourself, your energy, your focus, your presence. Stick around, because the final insight at the end of this video is a move so subtle, most people overlook it. But those who use it, they become unforgettable. Take a breath. Let's begin. And now, maybe he's gone. Maybe he's with someone else. But there's still this ache. Not just in your heart, but in your bones. It's like your soul remembers something he forgot. He moved on, or at least it looks like that. He's laughing in pictures. He's posting stories like everything's fine. But you're stuck in the quiet. You wonder, what if he never looks back? What if I was just a chapter and not the whole story? Here's the truth Carl Jung hinted at. People don't meet by accident. Every encounter carries a purpose. And sometimes, that purpose is transformation. But transformation isn't pretty. It's raw, it's lonely. It's you waking up in the middle of the night, grappling with the weight of what was and what could have been. But here's the thing. There's something powerful that happens when you stop chasing and start becoming. When you turn that longing inward, when instead of waiting for him to come back, you make yourself the reason he wishes he'd never left. Not through revenge, not through silence games, but through elevation. By becoming a version of you that's too magnetic to ignore. Even from across the room, even from across the life he's now pretending to enjoy. And that's what we're building here. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn the one move that flips the entire script. The one shift that's made countless men realize what they lost. Too late. So keep breathing, keep watching, and start becoming unforgettable. You didn't text him, you didn't beg, you didn't show up where he might see you. You simply vanished, but not in defeat, in power. Because silence isn't weakness. Silence is discipline. And somewhere deep inside him, he felt it. That pause, that absence, that shift. He may have thought he had the upper hand, until your energy started to pull away. He scrolled, he waited, he expected the "I miss you" that never came. And here's the secret. When you disappear without explanation, the mind creates its own stories. It fills the silence with questions, and the heart with noise. Did she move on? Did she never love me the way I thought? Did I make a mistake? Carl Jung believed the unconscious doesn't like gaps. It will always try to resolve the unknown. And now, you've become the unknown. You see, there's something unforgettable about the one who didn't chase, who didn't fight to stay, but chose to walk away with dignity. And the more he tries to distract himself, the louder your absence becomes. It's not just that you're gone, it's how you left. You didn't slam the door, you didn't scream or cry, you just closed the chapter like a woman who knows her worth. That is haunting. That is what lingers in his mind at night. Not the woman who begged, but the one who let go and never looked back. And maybe, just maybe, he's starting to wonder if he'll ever find that kind of presence again. He tried to move on, new faces, new chats, maybe even someone new by his side. But something's missing. Because no matter how much he tries to replace the space you left, it never fits the same. You see, anyone can fill a space, but not everyone leaves a presence. You didn't just exit his life, you shifted the energy. And that shift, it lingers. Every laugh he hears that doesn't sound like yours, every scent that doesn't trigger a memory, every good morning text that feels forced compared to yours. Effortless, genuine, alive. This is the moment he realizes. He didn't lose someone who needed him. He lost someone who chose him. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." And you did transform him, not by clinging, but by releasing. Because true magnetism isn't loud. It doesn't chase, it doesn't beg. It's quiet, it's powerful. It's the kind of energy people don't notice until it's gone. And when they do, they can't forget it. That kind of presence stays. And if you're still watching this, maybe there's a reason. Maybe deep down, you know the kind of woman you are. And you're not here to chase love. You're here to be remembered. And between us, those who stay until this point in a video, they tend to see the full picture. They see what most scroll past. So if that's you, stick around. There's more ahead. And the truth only gets better from here. You're not texting, not calling. You're not watching his stories, liking his photos, or sending those late-night "I miss you" messages. You're just gone. Not out of spite, but from peace. And that silence, it's loud to him. You see, we often think presence is power, but absence is louder. When you disappear, truly disappear, he starts to hear all the things he ignored. The sound of your laugh in his memory, the way your words felt like home, the comfort you brought without even trying, and now that you're not there to offer it. He realizes it wasn't just what you gave, it was how you made him feel, because the truth is, men don't always remember what you said, but they'll never forget how they felt around you. That calm, that connection, that spark. It doesn't just fade when someone else walks in. In fact, sometimes the presence of someone new only makes your absence scream louder. Carl Jung would call this the echo of the unconscious. A whisper from the soul, where everything you buried eventually returns. And guess what? He's starting to feel it. Because you didn't just walk away. You taught him something, without a word. And that lesson, it stays. So keep walking. You're not behind. You're ahead of the healing curve. And whether he realizes it now or months from now, you've already left your mark. Something strange happens when you stop chasing. He starts remembering. Not just the good times, but the depth. He recalls how your silence wasn't a weapon. It was a mirror. A reflection of everything he didn't want to see in himself. You didn't scream. You didn't beg. You just withdrew your energy. And that shift, it's more powerful than any confrontation, because energy doesn't lie, and when you pull it back, he feels it in ways he can't explain. He starts comparing the way you saw him without judgment, the way you listened, even when he had no words, the way you stood by him, not for what he gave, but for who he was. And now he wonders, will I ever feel that again? Because connection like that, it doesn't show up twice. Maybe he's with someone else. Maybe he's pretending it's better. But at night, in the quiet, he feels the void your presence used to fill. Carl Jung believed that what we repress in the conscious returns in dreams, in patterns, in longing. And that's exactly where you live now. In the corners of his mind he can't silence anymore. Because the kind of woman who can love deeply and walk away with dignity isn't just rare, she's unforgettable. So let that silence echo. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. The moment he realizes he's lost you isn't when you walk away. It's when you no longer react. No more late-night replies, no more checking his posts, no more energy poured into a connection that only drained you. That calm silence, it scares him, because now he knows he doesn't live rent-free in your mind anymore. You've reclaimed your space, your power, your worth, and it's magnetic. See, when you stop proving your value to someone, the right ones see it without effort, but the wrong ones, they panic. Not because they loved you right, but because they lost the control they thought they'd always have. And what makes him crave you now isn't your beauty, not the way you made him laugh. It's that you slipped away, with elegance, with peace, and without needing him to validate your glow. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That's what you did. You woke up. You saw the loop, and you chose yourself. And now, he's living with the echo of everything he thought you'd never have the strength to do. But you did, and you're not looking back. And here's the truth most people miss. The strongest form of love isn't the one that pulls someone back. It's the one that makes you never need them again. When you fully step into your own light, you stop chasing shadows. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to remind them what they lost, because your presence becomes so elevated. They either rise to meet you, or they disappear. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever walked away, and they came back when you least expected it? Drop your story in the comments, because your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. If this message stirred something inside you, and you feel like there's more to explore, tap into our playlist on Carl Jung and shadow work. It's full of insights that go even deeper into this emotional power shift. And if you're wondering how to stay in this energy, watch the next video on the screen. It'll guide you through the next steps on your journey. You've made it this far. So maybe it's not just a video, maybe it's a sign. Take a breath and keep walking forward. You're doing better than you think.